Let me introduce myself. My name is Imtiaz, and I'm an athlete with UKDF BA, which is one of the best natural drug-free federations in UK. Um, since I did my first show in June 2019 for Men's Physique, and I posted my picture of 4 months transformation, which I started from Feb 2019, since the day of my show in June 2019. I was getting many messages on my Instagram and on my Facebook page. Many people were asking me about how I've done this transformation, what food I was taking, what nutritions I was taking, and about my training program. And I was in replying them individually on my Facebook page and on my Instagram pages through messages. But then I thought, how about if I can create a video with all the information what I have and all the knowledge what I have about training, about diet, about nutrition, and if I can share it with you guys, that will be very helpful. So I thought I'll create a video and I'll share it so everyone can have the information required, be it for your show, be it for a photo shoot, or if it just you want to use it for your personal goals. um, this is my first show. This is my first video on YouTube. I thought, let me make it in different parts so that it will be easier for you guys to revisit as and when you require. We'll make this video in 3 different parts. In this part, we'll discuss about uh, federations, different federations in UK, and about the diet. Now, since I live in London and I was competing in UK, I can only talk about the federations in UK. I was competing with UKDF BA, which is a drug-free natural federations, and I'm a natural athlete. Sorry, so I can only talk about the federations which holds natural athletes. There are different federations in UK, one of which is this UKDFBA. There's another one which is WNBF, which is World Natural Bodybuilding Federation. One of the best natural federation is INBA, which is International Natural Bodybuilding Association, which leads to Pro Natural Bodybuilding Association, which is the pinnacle of Olympia, Naturals Olympia. If that's your goal, then you have to register yourself with INBA, get the pro card, get register yourself with PNBA, and that is how you can build up points and compete in the Naturals Olympia, which is the pinnacle of Natural Olympia. So yes, I was competing with UKDFBA. Did my first show in Scotland last month in June for Men Physique. Since I started my prep, I was 80, around 80 point something, 80.8 to be precise. And on the day of my show, I lost almost 15 kilos, so I was 65.7 on the day of the show. This all happened in the transformation period of 4 months. It goes without saying that obviously it was completely drug free, no steroids, no anabolics. Everything happened within diet, nutrition, and training. In this part, we'll talk about the diet part of the prep. I started my diet. I had a diet plan where I did 18 weeks. So all I had to do is count my BMR and my maintenance calorie. Since you're on preps, obviously you will be eating on a calorie deficit, which is you eat on a low calorie diet. I created my program with a high protein, low carbs, and low fat. So the ratio was 50 30 20, 50% protein, 30% carbs, and 20% fat. I started my prep with an 18 weeks time. So I, I used my BMR and multiplied by 18 weeks, and every 2 weeks I was reducing my calorie. I kept my protein stagnant, and I kept reducing my carbs. So that is how I was reducing the calorie, and by the end of it, almost by end of my prepping period, my carbs was almost zero. So the last whole month of June, I was on zero carbs, and very little amount of fats, and my protein was high. So because of my fat level, I had to reduce my carbs to zero. When I started, my fat percentage was around 21.5, and on the day of my competition, my fat percentage was around 10.7. So this was the calculation. Now, to calculate your calories, you have to calculate your BMR. You have to find out how much maintenance calorie you have, and multiply it by 1.55 if you are working out intense. If you're doing an intense workout, that is how you calculate your maintenance calorie from your BMR times 1.55. That will give you your maintenance calorie. Then you times by how many weeks of transformation you want to do, if be it your 16 weeks or 18 weeks, times by that, and then you keep reducing your calorie every week, or probably because it's 18 weeks program, so you have to keep on reducing your calorie every week. I used to calculate my weight on every Sunday, so I'll calculate my weight, and then I'll start my day from start my week from Monday. So from Monday I will start with the new calorie, which is reduced calorie from last week. So I will calculate my weight, and then I'll reduce my calorie to whatever it is on that particular day, and then we'll go make my new food plans. That leads me to the food what I was eating. So I was on a very lean protein diet, chicken, eggs, fish, mostly all, and protein powder as well. Yes, if you can, then obviously protein powder is good. If you can't, then if you can get protein, as much as protein required from your food, then you can get it from food. um, I was taking eating chicken, eggs, fish, and mostly protein powder. This is where I was getting my protein. Carbs wise, I was mostly on brown rice and sweet potatoes, and for breakfast I used to have oats. That's mostly the intake of carbs. And fats, I was having olive oil and avocados. Obviously you do get fat from fish as well, that is very required. So I used to get mostly, I used to, because on salad I can't put, I don't like to put olive oil, so I have to just drink like 1 or 2 teaspoons of olive oil before every meal. So that will give me my fat intake, and then avocados, and mostly fish. Peanut butter is also a very good option for your fats. But obviously you have to calculate peanut butter. If you're having lots of peanut butter, then you have to calculate your protein and carbs as well, because it does have good amount of protein and good amount of carbs. So I tried to avoid peanut butter, and I was sticking more to pure amount of fats and pure amount of protein and pure amount of carbs. So this is how I was this amount of food I was taking for my prep period. This is how I was prepped for my food, and thank you very much for watching this video. In the next video we'll talk about the training programs, and then the peak week and a show day. Thank you very much again for tuning into your fitness companion channel. Bye.